Welcome to Ciao Bella, hosted by me, Erica Firpo, a travel journalist based in Rome. Each episode of Ciao Bella, I sit down with Italy's creators, contemporary artists and artisans, designers, culinary experts, heritage brands, and innovative aesthetes, and more who are defining and redefining 21st century Italy. Pull up a chair and join in. Hey there, welcome back to Ciao Bella. Today I'm with Alexander Van Glitch, who is an unconventional and multidisciplinary artist who talks about the intersection of art, technology, and culture. He's based out of Torino, and I'm very excited because I met Alexander through my own Alexander. So thank you, Alexander, if you're listening. Welcome, Alexander.
Welcome. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks a lot.
Well, I'm really excited to have you, and I have to say that your name, when my friend Alex introduced me to you, your name captivated me from the beginning. Alexander Van Glitch is an incredible name. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, of course. Well, we can say that Alexander Van Glitch is just the last of the many pseudonyms I have always used for all my artistic projects. I started back in 2004. And I particularly love pseudonyms because from my point of view, they are a way to put in the background our ego and give a centrality to the artistic project. And the reason that led me to choose Alexander Van Glitch are quite simple and are related to my passion for glitch art, which could be defined as an aesthetic of error, of distortion and imperfection. And I've created my first works under the Alexander Van Glitch pseudonym in 2016, and slowly but steadily I tried to define my signature style.
You know, the art that you do, and actually I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your background, but I also want to let everybody, he mentioned he does glitch art, and the art that you do is a mix, in my opinion, between conceptual, futuristic, and super digital. And I think it's something that not a lot of people, it's slowly gaining momentum. But, I had never even used the term glitch art or even heard of it until I met you. And then actually I met you because of this, the big onda, the rise of NFTs. So if you don't mind, I'd love for you to tell everybody a little bit about your background and then a little bit about what exactly it is that glitch art is.
Okay, about my background, I was born as a creative. First as copywriter and today as a creative director. And to be honest, I have never consciously wanted to be or become an artist. I rather believe that art and creativity have found in me a channel through which to manifest themselves. And among my best known projects at an international level, I can mention Nano art, which are works of art created with the nanotechnology and invisible to the naked eye. Then I have created Occult Motion Pictures. That is an artistic project totally dedicated to GIF art. And then the Gifoscope, that I can describe as the world's first handmade analog GIF player. And talking about glitch artists, well, glitch art was born many years ago, but is like a trend in contemporary art, and is a sort of, let me say, punk aesthetic, an aesthetic of error, as I told before, of distortion, is an aesthetic of imperfection, and this is why I love it so much. I don't like realistic or ultra-realistic kind of art. I just prefer to focus on what is not perfect. And well, glitch art allows me to express this kind of point of view of our world. And let me say, I have something like a signature style that means, for example, pixelation. That means turn images into pixels or voxels that are 3D pixels. And for example, triangulations, that means again to turn images in a lot of triangulation made with Delaunay triangulation. And then another symbol, another mainstream signature style of my art is the black background. That is a reminder of the absence of memory of contemporary people and society.
All right, to get an idea of the work that you're doing, if you could tell people the scale of your work, because and also, by the way, when you were describing, your passion for pseudonyms, which is something I have as well, and you were describing your art background, I have to say, I kept saying two things in my head. I kept saying Rose Salavi and Duchamp. There's something very Duchampian. Like I feel like you're like 100 years later, a little bit, you have a lot of influence, like a lot of parallels with what Marcel Duchamp, the way he was thinking as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I can say I have one eye looking to the past and one to the future with the kind of art. For example, I love so much portraiture. I love so much landscapes, but I try to put in a new way. For example, I've done a lot of portraits of VIP, of famous people, celebrities, but trying to put them in a, let me say, in a lower level with the glitch art and with the imperfection. Mm-hmm. I try to focus on the human aspects more than or the celebrities or the celebrity. So this is one of my main approaches. And if you have a look, if you have another view of all my artworks, you can see this always present black background that for me is really important, because as I told you before, is something like remember that your celebrity can last just a few months or a few years, and then you disappear, and then you are forgotten
for a few seconds. Yeah,
exactly. It's something like for example what Andy Warhol said. For example, you can have your 15 minutes of celebrity, but then you disappear, and especially in our digital and social media culture.
I think digital art, I think you really encapsulated, you're absolutely right, the digital and social culture. And I think it's interesting that you've taken it to the next level of, it's fleeting, and then you're creating art, which most people view art as something that's very, very permanent. And, whether it's big or small, a work of art is often considered monumental. It's considered it's considered this higher thing. And I think what's really interesting about what you're doing with your NFTs is you're redefining, what the concept of art is, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, concept, well, this is maybe my advertising and creative background that is really stronger. And I think sometimes it's a mix of my creative and advertising background put in the art world. For me, the concept is the first thing. Maybe this is a relationship with the Duchamp and the conceptual art. And I just want to send an idea to people. I just want to show a new point of view of the world. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy, but the goal for me is to say something new, not just something aesthetic, but is try to send a message to people. The focus on the concept is really one of the first things I think when I create a new artwork. Yes, of course.
In regard to message sending, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit about a project when we first spoke that you mentioned to me, the Moon Arc project that you've done.
Yeah.
Can you share with our listeners what that is?
Yeah, in 2004, I was invited by Carnegie Mellon University to create two nanometric size artworks for the Moon Arc project. The Moon Arc project is a museum the size of a can of a Coca-Cola that will be landed on the surface of the moon in the next few years. And well, the Moon Arc is designed to direct our attention from the Earth outward into the cosmos and beyond. The Moon Arc project is impossibly small. is hyper light, but is incredibly enduring, and is designed and engineered to last 1,000 of years and to project humanities in a most beautiful and highly significant way. And let me say, if nano art allowed me to go beyond the terrestrial boundaries and create works for the cosmos and for the moon in particular, with the Alexander Van Gleech project allowed me to go beyond the boundaries of traditional art and giving me the opportunity to create and sell one-of-a-kind digital artworks. So I think the two projects are really related and really interesting too, yes.
Is that something that we here would be able to see? Is there a way in which us terrestrials would be able to see that piece?
Are you talking about nano art?
Well, the piece you did specifically for the Moon Arc project, is there like, how can someone see it?
Yes, the whole project is presented on the web. You just have looked on Google, for example, for Moon Arc project, and you can find a very detailed website where all the Moon Arc is presented and described by the Carnegie Mellon University. And you can see all the 100 artists collaborating to create this incredible nano museum. Yes, you can find a lot of information.
Okay, that sounds very cool.
Yeah,
Now,
for me it's incredible to think to artworks sent to the moon. It's something that goes beyond my imagination. That's crazy.
That's what I was just thinking. And it's really funny because yesterday, my husband and I were in the car and we're driving and we're listening to Space Odyssey by David Bowie. And I started thinking about your Moon Arc project, because I was just saying like that, like when I was listening to the song, it must have been amazing for him to write that song and think about the cosmos and being so far out there, you know. And then I was thinking about your work, and it's like, it's beyond my comprehension, you know, it's beyond my zone, my comfort zone, you know?
Yeah, me too. When I was in Whiteley, I asked myself, well, this is really unbelievable. I have no works in galleries, for example, in physical and traditional galleries. But if I have to think of having a couple of artworks on the moon, sounds like really mad stuff, like something unbelievable. When I look to the moon, I really start to dream and to think about this Moon Arc, really small museum landing on the surface, and it's something really incredible. And I'm really happy to be part of this visionary project.
I you know, that's actually a beautiful, you know, that's a really beautiful vision, you know, like me. Now, when I look at the moon, I'm going to think about your work, this Moon Arc. It's going to kind of personalize it even more for me. I think that's pretty cool. And I can't imagine what it must feel like for you. Yeah,
I prefer not to think about it because it's really bigger than me. So when it will all happen, it will be something crazy. Right now, I'm just thinking about other projects, and I'm waiting for the astrobot, that is this kind of starship coming to the moon and landing the Nano Museum on the surface. They are programming the landing of the museum in 2021, but I'm not sure they will able to do it in 2021. I think that the coronavirus pandemic has stopped the project for some ways, and if you have to think to send a nano museum to the moon is a really hard project, and I think it will ask more years to be done. Okay, well, we'll stay tuned. Yes, we will wait. Stay tuned for the moon. Now, what I really want to talk to you about are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I think for the past few months, there's been a lot of buzz about them, but they're kind of, for a lot of people, like crypto or Bitcoin. It's a lot of fun to talk about them. It's a little bit harder to comprehend them. No, I think we can find a way to talk about NFTs in a really easy way. First of all, NFT stands for Not Fungible Token. And NFTs are one-of-a-kind assets in the digital world that can be bought and sold like any other piece of property, but they have no tangible form of their own. The digital tokens can be thought of as certificates of ownership for virtual or physical assets. And well, why they are so important? Because let's, for example, talk about the traditional works of art such as paintings or sculptures. They are valuable because they are one of a kind. But as you know, digital files can be easily and endlessly duplicated. So with NFTs, artworks can be tokenized to create a digital certificate of ownership that can be bought and sold. So I think it's quite easy to understand.
Well, I know that recently the Uffizi, I believe, didn't they sell, it sold a piece, an NFT for Michelangelo's Donitondo.
Yes.
And so I guess what you're saying is, because they didn't sell the piece at all. What they sold was the certificate for the digital ownership of the digital piece. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's the core definition of NFTs. You are not selling the artwork in itself. You are not selling a JPEG. You're not selling a PNG file. You are not selling a GIF, but you are selling the certificate. So an artwork, a JPEG can be downloaded from all over the people, from all over the world, but the owner has the certificate that allows him to own this one-of-a-kind artwork. I know it's quite difficult to understand, but it's like having a certificate. And Uffizi are trying to sell this kind of art, and I think they are doing the right way. They have the roots in the ancient Italian Renaissance art, but they are projected into the future, so they are able to think about the future of art, and the future of art now is NFTs.
So I met you because of my friend Alex, who acquired an NFT work of art by you. Can you tell us a little bit about your NFTs, what you're doing, and actually tell us where we can see them, if that's possible?
Yes, of course. You can see them. You can see all my NFTs and my digital artworks on Makerspace, makerspace.com. Makerspace is one of the platforms that were created recently to create and sell unique and one-of-a-kind digital artworks. It is one of the most famous platforms, together with, let me say, Nifty Gateway, with the Super Rare, with the Rarible, and few others. So you can find there are a lot of artists from all over the world, and I have I've not choose the real thing is that I have not choose the Makerspace because I was invited as one of the first artists to join the platform, like I think 2.5 years ago. Wow. So I spent like the first years to upload the artworks there, and I started to sell artworks at the end of 2020. Then there was like a hype in the first month of 2021, and in 6 months I have sold like more than 1,000 NFTs on Makerspace, and really for me this is something unbelievable, because the chance of being able to sell a digital work of art is a real revolution. It's something like, an artist from India, from Bangladesh, from Italy, from wherever you think, is now able to sell and to show his art to even to a much bigger growing group of collectors from all over the world. And the thing is that collectors are spending a lot of money, really, really, really a lot of money on NFTs. Of course, you have to be let me say, quite a famous digital artist, but I have already sold NFTs for thousands of dollars, and for me, it sounds really incredible.
I think that's amazing. And it's also really amazing. I mean, like I said, I'm still wrapping my head around it. First of all, I've been, for the past few weeks, I've been looking at your site on Maker's Place, and what I love more than anything is how every single one is addition of one, because that really, and that's obviously the logic behind the NFT, but it really makes you rethink things. I have a question. So, for example, that the We Will Rise study for a portrait of Amanda Gorman is beautiful. Say hypothetically, I am the person that acquired that. Then I could, if I wanted to, like print it out, give it to someone, like not give it to someone, make copies? Like what happens when you have the certificate of ownership in regard to reproduction?
Well, in regard to reproduction, you have to know that you own the original one. So you own the original one you have purchased. But with the file, you can do whatever you like. For example, when an artwork, an NFT is sold on the platform, sometimes I ask collectors if they want a physical print of canvas and like a gift. And I give the collector a physical print made of canvas, but it's not the original one. It's like thinking that think about the Mona Lisa in the Louvre. You have the original one that is hanged on the wall, and then you have thousands and hundreds of copies all over the world. You have posters, you have postcards, you have stickers, you have digital reproduction, but you know that the original one is owned by the Louvre. So it's quite the same thought about NFTs.
But are there like when with the purchaser, are there limitations? Are there like for the purchaser, like when you sell a work of art? So for example, and by the way, I love the pieces that are also moving, and I love how they're, it's not just pixelated. Some are very abstract, and some are very realistic. But if someone were to buy a piece, are there limitations to say, like, you as the purchaser cannot print out and give physical copies to people, or they can do whatever they want?
No, you can do whatever you want. You just have to know that the ownership of your digital piece is written, let me say, on the blockchain. And so you have a proof of ownership.
Right.
So with the file, for example, you can go on Maker's Place, open my profile, open an artwork, download it, and use it as a screen desktop for your computer. You can put it on your smartphone. You can print it and hang it on the wall on your house. But you will never have the original one.
You'll never have the original one, exactly.
Yes. It looks like and it sounds like crazy, but it is the blockchain technology that allows you to certificate the ownership of this piece. So it is written in files, let me say, and it's a sort of piece of paper that say, okay, you are owning this one-of-a-kind artwork.
I think I love this because this really brings up the concept of, this really reinforces the concept of what ownership means, and what reproduction means, I guess, in regard to art. And I guess, at the end of the day, I'm a conceptualist. So for me, this is so conceptual, but like beautifully conceptual as well. I think there's a lot of, there's obviously this is very serious, but I think there's also a lot of fun to be had in the concept and understanding the concept of what is art.
Yes.
So I really find this completely, fascinating and enjoyable. And, I have a question, because I think I was reading in a forum, and can anybody, if you can make an NFT, anybody can make an NFT. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think this is not a problem for me. It depends, for example, from the platform you choose to upload your NFTs. Many of these platforms ask you to submit your profile, and then you have to show them your artworks, your social profiles, and then they allow you to join the platforms. But not all the platforms work in that way. For example, there's one of the big platforms for NFTs. It's called OpenSea, and OpenSea allows anyone to upload works of art. I created, for example, a profile for my kid. He's 10 years old and is playing with the smartphone and computer, creating something like artworks. He's really enjoying this kind of stuff, and I've created a profile for him, and he's able to sell digital pieces created by a kid of 10 years old.
Oh, what's his name on OpenSea? Can we find him?
I have to ask him, because
okay.
his profile with his own name. So he's done all it by himself. I just explained him the basic for creating an account. And I think his name is something like Ludwig, because his name is in Italiano is Ludovico. So I think he tried to play with his name, and it's something like Ludwig. And I have to ask him. I will tell you.
I mean, I think that would be really cool. It would also, to me, it's really cool to see what a 10-year-old is doing. Now,
there are a lot of young kids playing with NFTs, and among the most famous artists, there are really young people. For example, Fevocius is one of the most famous, and I think he's like 18, 20 years old, and he has sold so many NFTs for an incredible amount of Ethereum of dollars.
Oh, that's my next question. Is all of this done in crypto?
It depends from the platform again. So, for example, on Maker's Place, you can buy an artwork both with Ethereum and dollars. Other platforms allows you to buy only with Ethereum and, for example, Tezos. There's now a new platform that allows to buy and sell with the Tezos. But in any case, you need to have a digital wallet to store your Ethereum and to store the artworks you purchase.
This is so fascinating. On one level, it kind of scares me because it is so new and so contemporary that I'm intimidated. Not scares me, but I'm intimidated because I wouldn't even know where to begin. But on the other side of me is so excited because I view this as, rightfully so, the next step with art. And it's not just art, because it's music. It's
yes.
I mean, there's everything that can become an NFT, correct?
Yes, exactly. Anything you can think and can be turned into a digital file, for example, can be an NFT. Music first, of course, images, photos, and also like project. Let me say you have created a 3D and you can sell it like an NFT. You have created a new car design or car model that is like a concept, and you can sell it again as an NFT. And many brands are now into the NFT world because they can find here a lot of interesting activities for their brand. For example, think about Nike or Ferrari. Nike creates a new digital asset that can create a concept of a new sneaker and sell it as an NFT in a one-of-a-kind artwork. So they don't need to sell physical shoes, but they can also sell digital shoes, and people will buy it for sure.
So fascinating. That is so fascinating. Did you ever read the book Snow Crash?
No.
Okay. Snow Crash is a book by Neil Stephenson. I think it's from 1993. And it's kind of one of those epic cyberpunk novels, because I really enjoy cyberpunk novels. And it's science fiction. Okay. It was published in 1992. And it kind of was it preceded all of this cryptocurrency that we know today, but it really talked about that. And on one level, there was this discussion of this digital ownership. I'm going to have to send you the book because you know that you need to read this because I think you'll find it.
I will read it for sure. Thanks.
So I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to you digitally.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be really interesting. Also, to be able to get an NFT of a book.
Yes, that's really, really, really interesting. For example, think also about poetry. Like you can write a poem or like some verses and put online like NFTs and sell them as a unique, again, as a one-of-a-kind artwork. I think that's the great thing about NFTs. You don't have to think just to digital art, but you can think about really books, letters, stories, words. I'm sure you can sell a word made digital that is relevant for you, and you can sell it as an NFT. It is open to any kind of human expression. I think you can even, as music, you can even sell a sound, like mix them with literature. It is really open to imagination. This is why I think it is really, really relevant and is not just related to illustration, to drawings, and to photographs and digital manipulation and 3D.
I feel like, I don't want to, there's an expression in English, like you've just pulled back the curtain to the Wizard of Oz. And I'm like, whoa, I'm scared. Like I said, I'm intimidated to walk in, but I really need to. Alexander, it has been such a pleasure talking to you and learning about this. And my last question for you is, what's next? What's next for Alexander von Glitch?
Yeah, I just like to explore, as I told you before, a few seconds ago, like new digital assets to propose to and to sell to people. Maybe it will be like a poem, a book, a short story, or a mix of all these kind of creative stuff. But I just don't want to stop and think about NFTs or digital art as a digital manipulation or illustration. I just want to think beyond and put together different kind of human expressions. For example, as a copywriter, I write a lot. I really like words. I really like headlines and body copies and short stories. So maybe there's a chance for the future to create something that put together images, glitches, digital manipulations, and words and sounds. And I'm trying something in that direction.
I'm really looking forward to it. And I particularly am a word person as well. So I really can't wait to see what you come up with. So right now, for everybody, if they want to learn more about you, they can go to makersplace.com/Von Glitch, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Perfect.
That's the best way. So Von Glitch is spelled VANGLITCH. And I'm going to be sharing that also on my website. Alexander, thank you so much for taking your Sunday morning out to speak with me.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to send you the book. So look in your email because I'm going to just tell you, because I'm making you read Snow Crash, and then we're going to have to talk about it. Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much. Ciao, everybody. And
ciao. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. If you'd like to know more about today's guest, please visit ciaobella.co and click on the podcast link, or go directly to ciaobella.co/podcast. Want more Italy? You can find all my episodes on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher. When you have time, subscribe to iTunes and rate the podcast. What are you waiting for? And if you want to be part of the podcast, email me or DM me your Italy questions. To learn more about me and my work, go to my website, ericafirpo.com, and follow my Italy adventures on Instagram at ericafirpo. Ciao, Bella! And a very big thank you and hug to Massimiliano Yonta and Disc to Disc Studios, the producers of Ciao Bella, who continue to make me sound and feel great.